Good morning. Abstinence, experience strength and hope for members of Overeaters Anonymous. This one's titled Aussie, How To. My name is Kay, and I'm a compulsive overeater. Although I'm Australian, I attended my first OA meeting in Chicago in 1981. I'd been en route to California after a stop in Europe to hook up with my sister. Unfortunately for her, she is not a compulsive overeater. She ended up traveling with me through the last 4 horrific months of my compulsive overeating. I thought of nothing but food. I had a bad temper, bossy, rude, selfish, and domineering. I was the older sister, so I got away with it. On the last stage of our journey back across the United States, I put us on a diet. We were allowed to eat only crackers, cheese, and apples. Since I was driving the car, my sister had no choice. I simply would not stop to allow her out of the car to eat. Years later, she told me how she'd snuck into shops when we stopped for gas and would have a snack to keep from being hungry all the time. When we reached California, I started going to OA meetings. Thank God I got abstinent from the beginning. After 18 continuous days of abstinence, I felt great. I was so proud of myself that the good feeling didn't leave me for months. I don't mean that it wasn't hard work or that it didn't require enormous effort and discipline on my part, but I felt good. Initially, I used all sorts of tricks to avoid overeating. I established a strict timetable for my meals. Breakfast was at 7. I couldn't get up until then because I had to eat as soon as I got out of bed. Most of the time I still do. Lunch was at noon. I'd start watching the clock at about 11 a.m., convinced I was starving, all the while praying for help. Dinner was at 5 p.m., sometimes slightly later if I could force myself to cook slowly. By 8:30 p.m., I'd have to go to bed because I got hungry again. I didn't know if I could trust myself not to have that first compulsive bite. Later on, when the obsession with meal times had passed and I would find myself thinking food at an inappropriate time, I'd use little tricks to postpone the act of compulsive overeating. I'd say to myself, well, first I'll have a cup of coffee. If I'm still hungry after that, then I can have something.